record to this computer, and we know for a fact it will be recorded. I'm going to make sure to get this recording out to you after this call. Give me about an hour or two just to have Zoom download it, and then I will upload it into YouTube, and then I will email it to you guys within the next couple hours. So you will get the recording. Don't worry, these calls are always recorded. You always get the recording after the fact. We do go through a lot, okay? So this is an advanced training. If you have not done your onboarding yet, so if you are new to the platform and you have not done your onboarding with Nick quite yet, make sure you do so, okay? You can still stay on this call. You're going to get a ton of value from it. It just might feel a little overwhelming if you don't have a couple of generations under your belt already, okay? So when you do your onboarding call with Nick, he is going to make sure that you are all set up with your profile questions, your colors, your logos, your headshots, all that good stuff. He's going to get you set up with your profile. He's going to go over general generations with you. And then once you have a couple of those under your belt, this is going to make a lot more sense. So if you are sitting on this call right now and you're like, oh crap, I have not done my onboarding yet, that's okay. Don't worry. Still going to get a ton of value. You're going to get this recording after the fact. Just make sure that when you log into your account, you hit that little join live training button on the bottom left-hand corner, and you pick a time to do your onboarding with Nick, because he's going to get you all set up, okay? We're not going to go through any setup stuff here. We're not going to go through any of the basics. We're jumping right into the advanced settings. We're jumping into the editor. We're jumping into generations, all that good stuff. So if you haven't set up your profile quite yet, it might feel like a lot, but that's okay. You still got time to set everything up with Nick, and you can always watch this recording after the fact. A couple other things I like to go through is that because this is always a packed house, okay, I'm going to have you guys keep yourselves muted just because we have a lot to get through. I know that as agents, you wear a million hats. You're answering questions, answering emails. You might be in the office right now, talking to a teammate, or you might be kind of managing your kids at home right now. Things can get super, super share. Yep. Okay. So if you need to set up a call with Nick, so you're going to go into exactly where you went into join live training for the advanced training. You're going to make sure to click into onboarding first, level 1 first, and then you can set up your onboarding call with Nick. Okay. And that's not to say that you're not going to get value out of this call. You absolutely will. It just might feel like a lot because you haven't set up the basics quite yet. And we don't go through that on this call. But that being said, you can easily find it. Just click join live training. He does 5 or 6 of them a week. So there's plenty of times that you can plop back into there. Yeah, no worries, Cher, no worries. So yeah, I'm just going to have you guys stay muted just so we can get through as much as possible, so that we're not like in the middle of something and then someone picks up the phone and then we're like, oh shoot, who was it? We got to find them to mute them. Let's just try to get through it. I want to get you guys in and out of here as fast as possible. And I have a lot to go through, and I'm a talker if you haven't noticed yet. So I'm going to keep you guys muted. That being said, I am going to get through all of your questions. So if you have any questions at all, drop them in the chat. We're going to go over them at the very end. Again, just to keep the flow going. We're going to go through the questions at the very end. Don't be shy. Put them in the chat. We'll get to them eventually. I'm just notoriously bad for manning the chat while I present. So forgive me for that. I promise I'm not ignoring you. It's something that I'm definitely working on. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and we can jump right into it. Make sure I have it open here. Okay, fantastic. Let's go into here and share. Amazing. Okay, can everybody see my screen okay? You're going to see the content calendar right in front of you. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to move you guys out of the way. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So depending on where you are at in your RealEstateContent.ai journey, when you log into your account, you are going to see a content calendar that looks like this. So if you've already gone ahead and generated and scheduled some content, you're going to see it filled up like this. If you haven't, you might just see a blank calendar. That's okay. The first thing you are going to do is you are going to head here into this topic bar, okay? This is going to ask you what you would like your content to focus on this week. So what do you want to generate content about? Here is a great place to type in quite literally anything you want to create content around. You do not have to spell it correctly. It doesn't have to be grammatically correct or perfect. AI cleans all of that up for you. You can simply type in literally anything that's on your mind that you would like the AI to create content around, okay? Now, if you are in a pinch and you're like, honestly, I don't know, I actually don't have an idea what I want to create content about. What you can do is you can click this button just right back below it that says suggest topic. And what this is going to do is this is taking all of your profile information that you have fed it. So during your call with Nick, that you've filled out your onboarding questions, you told it a little bit about yourself. So your niche, the location you service, your ideal clients, all that good stuff. So it's going to give you a bunch of different topic ideas in here that are very real estate related and that relate to your profile answers. Okay. So mine, for an example, mine's set up in Austin, Texas. So of course it's referencing Austin, Texas. So how to budget for your first home in Austin, steps for families to make the home buying process stress-free in Austin, how to choose the right neighborhood for your growing family, all that good stuff. So tons of real estate related topics that you can choose from. Now, you guys know if you've been on a call with me before, my favorite thing here to suggest is that you try to challenge yourself, maybe just a couple times a month, maybe once a week, to come up with your own topics, okay? Because nobody knows the kinds of conversations that you are having with your clients better than you, okay? So the AI is going to give you a ton of really awesome real estate related topics. But you know the kinds of conversations you're having with your clients. And most of the time, the average human being actually isn't that interested in real estate, okay? Unless they're in the process of looking for a home or selling their home. Even then, most people are not going to go online and find like a real estate account and be like, oh, I really wonder, what's the best way to stage my house? You want to be relatable, okay? So if you are having conversations with your clients that are like, oh, you're a young growing family, here's why I recommend this location, because it's close to trails and there's some really great schools. And, I've sold to a couple families in that neighborhood and, they're really great people, whatever. The kinds of conversations you're having, maybe downtown Austin is a great place for young professionals because they can network. Maybe if you're starting a startup, you're like, oh, this would be a great place for you. You know the kinds of conversations that you're having with your clients best. And all you got to do is just literally type in why, I'm just letting some people in here, why Austin is great for dog owners. Fantastic. Again, it doesn't have to be spelled perfectly. You can have, a mistake in there and AI will figure it out. Okay. So I challenge you guys to couple times a month, just think about what are the kinds of conversations I'm having and type in your own topic and just see how it does. Okay. Just to sprinkle a little bit more personal stuff that isn't directly always real estate related. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to click generate. And when you click generate, this right-hand panel is going to pop up, okay? And here you are going to choose what days you want to generate for, what platforms, all that good stuff. The first thing you are going to do is you are going to choose which days you want to generate for, okay? So you're going to see this calendar pop up and you can generate up to 7 days worth of content at a time. So the reason why you can generate up to 7 days worth of content at a time is because the AI is going to take this topic and it's going to create a variety of different posts about this topic. But we don't want you talking about this topic for 31 days straight, okay? There's only so many ways you can talk about how to choose the right neighborhood for your growing family without it starting to sound repetitive. So within any given generation, you can create up to 7 days worth of content. That being said, obviously you can generate up to 2 months in advance. This just makes it so that you're not too repetitive with any given generation, okay? So my biggest piece of feedback here is to, instead of doing 7 days straight like this, don't do that, okay? You want to separate your 7 days for your generation. So do maybe 7 Wednesdays of generations or every other Wednesday, and just really try to kind of split that content up so that you're, talking about how to choose the right neighborhood for your growing family, and you're hitting those people a couple times in the month, but you're not hitting them for 7 days straight. So you are going to choose your days. And then the next thing you are going to do is you are going to choose what type of content you want to create. So what type of post do you want to create? And when you click into here, you're going to see that you have the option to choose between a carousel, a static post, or a reel. Okay, 3 different kinds of posts. All of this being said, once you generate, you can change absolutely everything about your post. So if you choose a reel and you change your mind and you want to go to a carousel or vice versa, you can change everything. You can change the colors, the design, the caption, everything. This is just going to make your life easier, because if you in your mind think, okay, I want to post reels every Wednesday, you can just go ahead and do it upon generation without having to go back in and do a ton of editing. Okay. So I'm going to show you what the difference between these 3 types of posts are. So a carousel, a static, and a reel. So I'm going to click out of here just onto my content calendar just to show you the 3 different kinds of posts. The first is a carousel, okay? So a carousel is a swipe through kind of informational style post where every slide has a different piece of copy on it, and it all relates to the generated caption, okay? So this kind of gets your viewer to swipe through your slides and learn as they go on, okay? So this is gonna be your most common type of post. The second is a static post. So a static post is just one image with a hook on it that kind of gets your reader to read your caption to see what it's all about, okay? It's one image with a hook on it. Things to keep in mind here are that Facebook is always going to choose a static image. Reason being is because Facebook just doesn't really handle carousels very well. They handle it a little bit more like a photo dump. So if you are posting a bunch of photos together, instead of having it be a swipe through, they just kind of post it as a dump. So we found that it doesn't look really good. Lately, over the past few weeks, we're seeing that Facebook may be making some changes to this. So we're keeping our eyes out for that. If they do end up supporting carousels, we'll go back to the ability to choose carousels upon generation. But for now, just don't be alarmed when you click into your Facebook and you see one image. It's intentional so that it doesn't clog up your Facebook page and just look super messy, okay? Then we've got the reel. So the reels, if you choose that upon generation, this is an aesthetic style B-roll video. So this is a short video. It's a clip that loops. It's also going to have a hook on it, and it's going to direct your viewer to read the caption. Okay. So every time this video loops, it counts as a view. It's a little way to kind of trick the algorithm. I'm going to just mute this just so it's not too loud for you when I hit play, but you're going to hit play. And then as you can see, it's just kind of like a quick video so that you don't have to take any videos. You're not, setting up a tripod and doing all this yourself. It's just a quick little video with a hook, read caption. So you can choose one of those if you want to incorporate some videos while you generate. Okay, so those are the 3 different types of posts. So if you're wondering what type of content you want to create, those are the 3 different kinds of posts that you can create. Okay. The next thing you can choose is the persona. So if you have set up multiple personas, so when you did your onboarding call with Nick, if you did create more than one persona, you can very easily let it know which persona you would like it to reference when it generates your content. Most agents are going to have one persona, that's the default persona, and it'll stay checked, your default persona. So if you don't have multiples, you don't have to worry about this. If you just have your one, cool, just leave it at default persona and you're good to go. Then the next thing you are going to do is you are going to choose the platforms that you want to generate content for, okay? So here you can see you can choose Instagram, Facebook, X/Twitter, LinkedIn, and a blog. Now, things to keep in mind, okay? So blog, if you are generating a blog, it's going to show up like this, a yellow tile. I'm going to show you all of them after we're done with the generation flow. But your blog is going to generate, it is an SEO optimized blog. You can generate it, as you can see, the same way you generate other social media posts. With the blogs, you have the ability to integrate only if you are using Go High Level, okay? So if you are using Go High Level as your blogging platform, then you can go ahead and click to integrate, and you can schedule that blog to go out directly onto Go High Level. This is just because Go High Level happened to be the first platform that we had the most requests for. So we launched with Go High Level as the first integration. That's not to say that we're not going to launch others. We absolutely are. We keep track of all of the suggestions that we get. So if you are currently using WordPress or Squarespace or Luxury Presence or any of those other kind of blog or website hosting platforms, we will get to them eventually. We are not saying that you have to sign up for Go High Level. If you are not using Go High Level, there's absolutely no reason for you to be signing up for it unless it's already in your flow. Okay. So definitely make sure to keep that in mind. With the blog, it's going to generate, you can click copy blog, you can copy all the contents of it and then just paste it into whatever you're using to host your blogs. So it makes it super, super easy. You won't have the direct way to kind of integrate with it, but you can very easily click to copy the blog, paste it into whatever you're using. The other thing you are going to notice is that there is no TikTok in the generation flow, okay? So you had that in the integrations. You can integrate with your TikTok, but it's not going to be in the generation flow. And the reason being is because TikTok performs really, really well with like talking face, really personal videos, okay? TikTok is a beast to get the algorithm to like you, and the content on there is just really, really good, okay? So unless you are like a celebrity realtor or you are really, truly making content creation, like your own content creation, your number one priority, your posts are just not gonna do well on TikTok, okay? It's just the reality of it. Even people who do good content on TikTok struggle getting it to take off. So for that reason, it's not in the generation flow just because our posts are a little more informational. It's just not the kind of stuff that TikTok wants to see. That being said, though, I will show you how you can repurpose some of the aesthetic B-roll videos to post to TikTok if you want to. Very, very easy to do. It's just not going to be in the generation flow right now. It's something that we're looking into. We might introduce it in the future, but with that being said, just knowing that unless you are really talking into TikTok or creating like really, really quality content, it's not going to be prioritizing informational style or even real estate type posts just because of the nature of the platform. It's a little bit more entertaining. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to select the platforms that you want to generate for, and then you're going to click generate content. Now you're going to see these advanced settings down here. Ignore that for now. We're actually going to come back to that at the very end of this training because they are very important, but you're going to understand it way better once you've actually gone through the rest of the platform. So just ignore the advanced settings. You're going to click generate content. And as you know, if you've generated content, it's going to shimmer and it's all going to come in and load into your calendar, okay? So I'm just skipping that part. I've already loaded some content in here from last week, so we can go ahead and play around with it. When your content lands, it's going to land in your day, and you can see that every platform is going to be color coded, okay? So Instagram is always pink, Facebook is always blue, X/Twitter is always black or gray, and then blogs are always yellow. So at a glance, you can see they're all color coded. You can also see the logos for each of them on the bottom left-hand corner so that you know, okay, this is my Instagram post, my LinkedIn, my Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing you are going to notice is that they are going to land in an unscheduled status, okay? So these are expired here because they're dates in the past. These are unscheduled. So all of your posts are always going to land unscheduled in your calendar. You never have to worry about anything going out unless you specifically have said, yep, this is cool. I've gone ahead. I'm going to schedule it. This can go out. Okay. So don't worry about, oh my gosh, I generated content in my calendar and I forgot to take a look at it. And now it's all going to go out. It won't. Nothing goes out without your stamp of approval first, okay? So you don't have to worry about any of that. It's going to land unscheduled, and then you can make any changes you want, or you can just go ahead and click to schedule and approve it. When you click into your post, you are going to see the status of your post as well as the date that it is right now scheduled, or not scheduled for, but posted for. Of course, you can go ahead and change that date as long as you are in an unscheduled status. So I'm actually going to go into a date. I'm going to pull this one here into the future. So it's going to look like this: unscheduled, your date and your time. Awesome. You can make any changes you want into here. You can see that this post is not going to go out. It's unscheduled. You still can make whatever changes you want to it. Okay. When you schedule your post is going to change from a red unscheduled status to a green scheduled status. So when you click that approve and schedule button, you can see this has now changed to scheduled. I no longer can edit the post. I can't edit the caption. I can't make any changes because Now, as you can see on my calendar, that is scheduled. That's ready to go out on that date and that time. And if I want to make any changes to it, I need to make sure that I unschedule it first. And I need to make sure that I do it before my post changes to a posted status. As soon as your post has successfully posted, it is now on the platform that it's supposed to be on. And you can't make changes from this content calendar anymore. You got to actually go into the platform. So if I wanted to delete this X post or this Instagram post, I got to go into Instagram and find that post and delete it from there, because now it's been published out to the world. So let's say you've opened up actually, before we get into this, one thing to keep in mind is that when you generate your posts, you are going to see, so I chose Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X here. You're going to see that every single one of those posts is talking about the topic that you chose, but every post is optimized for each individual platform. So your caption is going to be different for Instagram than it is for Facebook, than it is for LinkedIn, than it is for X. You're going to see that X is obviously shorter. It's a tweet. You have 4 images because Twitter allows up to 4 images. You're going to see that LinkedIn is a little bit more professional sounding, whereas your Facebook is longer. And again, it's going to be that static image. So regardless of whether you choose carousels, it will default to that static image so that it doesn't messy up your Facebook page. Again, unless you choose to change that, but it's just by default going to make sure that it's choosing this. And then your Instagram is, of course, a little more conversational. It's adding some emojis in there. So it's got the little sweaty head emoji here. It's just a little more casual, a little more fun. So all of them are going to be different captions. So you don't have to worry about, going in and trying to optimize the captions yourself. They're already good to go. When you want to take a look at your post, so you click into it, you're like, okay, this was generated, fantastic. First thing you want to do is you want to take a look at that caption. So in the middle, you're going to see the caption that was generated. And then on the left side, you're going to see the carousel post that was generated to go along with that caption. And you can click through it to see the copy if you want, but you're going to take a look at that caption first, okay? The first thing you're going to do if you want to make any changes is you're going to click into edit caption. And through there, you can make any changes that you want. So let's say you're like, ooh, you know what? I actually want to remove that call to action, or I want to change it. And, I want to remove this house emoji and whatever. You can make whatever changes you want manually. You just simply click edit caption, save your changes, and you're good to go. Now, let's say you're taking a look at this caption and you're like, you know what? Actually, I want to regenerate the caption altogether. I actually just want to completely scrap it and let's do something different. You can click into regenerate this caption. And on the bottom, you're going to see that you have a bunch of different options to choose from. So you can tell the AI to make it shorter. You can ask to make it more personal. You can ask to make it less personal. If you choose more personal, it's going to take more of the information from your profile answers. If you ask to make it less personal, it's going to take none of the information from your profile questions. So entirely up to you how you want to do it, what changes you want to make. Now, let's say you want to do something very specific. You're like, hey, I want to ask this AI to focus less on this or more of this. Or instead of giving me 5-point form tips and tricks, only give me 3. Or shorten this to be 5 sentences or less, or use less emojis, or, avoid using words like this. You can tell the AI exactly what you want it to do here, click regenerate, and it's going to regenerate that entire caption for you. Along with that, it's going to also regenerate the copy on whatever design was created. So that way, your design, the copy matches the caption, which is why I always suggest that you take a look at your caption first before you make edits to your design, because you don't want to go into here, make all these edits to your design, change the wording, change this, and then you go in and you decide to regenerate the caption. Well, now the caption is going to regenerate, but it's also going to regenerate the words you put into your slides, okay? So make sure you always look at the caption first. Once you are happy with the caption, we're going to take a look at the design, okay? We're going to ignore all the options here on the right side of the post, okay? We're going to ignore all of this because we're going to come back to this at the very end. So first thing you are going to do is you're going to check out the design. Let's say you're happy with it. You're like, okay, cool. I set up my colors. I set up my contact information with Nick. That all populated. I'm actually happy with that post. I can go ahead and schedule and approve it. Cool. But if you do want to make changes, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click into Edit Design. And this is going to open up the editor, okay? So as you can see, this has now opened up a completely new kind of view, and your post is right here with all the different slides here at the bottom that you can click into and tons of options to make changes, okay? So like I mentioned in the beginning, you can change every aspect of this post, from the copy to the colors to the background images. You can delete slides, you can change the post type, you can make any changes you want to this. So you're going to take a look at this. You're going to see the slides first. Okay, cool. Let's say you want to delete one of the slides. You can very easily click into the slide, click that little trash can button, delete it completely out of your carousel, okay? You can also rearrange your slides. So just by clicking into the slide, rearranging it to where you want it, it's going to move the slides around too. When you take a look at this, you're going to first give the copy a once over. Maybe you're indifferent. Maybe you have something very specific you'd like it to say. Just go ahead, make any changes that you want. You can actually double click into any of the text here, and you can type in whatever you want or delete whatever you want. So it's totally customizable. You're going to see this little text bar pop up on the top, okay? And here you can change the font, you can change the size, you can change the color of the font. You can make it all uppercase or lowercase, bold, italic, underline, alignment, all that good stuff. You can change absolutely everything about each of the individual texts, okay? On the left-hand side, you're going to see that it's automatically clicked into templates, okay? So within your templates, when you scroll down, you're going to see suggested templates. And underneath there, you're going to see a bunch of different templates that are just really, really great starting points, okay? So you scroll down, there's tons to choose from here. So let's say you want to change the template that was generated altogether. You can always choose from one of these. So tons to choose from. A quick tip here is that you can open up in the red up here, open up the quick controls, and you can see that your color palette has automatically uploaded into here in a bunch of different variations. So I actually changed my color palette after I generated these posts, and now my color palette is this kind of purple color palette. But let's say you actually want to see what would those templates look like with my color palette, because these are all kind of neutral color palettes. You just go ahead, you select from your quick controls one of the variations of your color palette, and as you can see, it's added your color palette to all of those suggested templates. So as you scroll down, you can see, okay, what would that look like if I added my color palette just super quickly? And let's click through the different ones. Okay, cool. This is what it would look like if I did this other one. This is what it would look like if I did this other one. So you can kind of pick and choose whichever one you like best if you just want to make some quick edits. You can also do that with your header font and your subtext font. So this is the header, this is the subtext. Let's say there's a very specific font you like to use. You can very easily go ahead, select whatever that font is. Maybe it's modern and modern. And then now that font selection has added to all those suggested templates. And again, you can see at a glance what that is going to look like with your preferred fonts, okay? So you can very easily choose one of these other templates if, let's say, you're like, okay, I'm kind of feeling one of these templates instead. Let's do something different. Let's do this one right here, okay? Now, you've chosen your template. You're happy with it. This is the one you want to use. Let's say you want to make some additional changes to it, okay? You're going to then go into your images. You're going to then go into your images and you're going to see that we have a bunch of different images to choose from in here, okay? So if you open up this search and filter button right here, you can go ahead and search and filter within here. You can also use these little tags down here. Now we actually have an AI right now that is currently working on tagging all of these in real time. So you'll see as each week goes on, these tags are going to get better and better and better. But as you scroll down, you're going to see that we've very intentionally created this library in a way that we've grouped kind of like-minded or similar images together, okay? So when you go through this, I think at this point, I think we're over 18,000 images in here. And we've got everything from interiors to exteriors to like warmer climates, colder climates. We've got big high-rise buildings. We've got beautiful cottages, lakefront properties. We've got people in here. We've got activities like canoeing and kayaking and biking and restaurants and commercial properties, like you name it, there's a ton to choose from in here, okay? So as you scroll down, you're gonna find that we've actually grouped these into similar images. So if you want to change the background of your carousel slide, you can change it so that it's all one image and it's all the same image. So let's say I want to do this kind of pink and teal kitchen. I can go ahead and I can click these three dots and then click to set all backgrounds. And what that has done is that's changed the background of all of the carousels in the carousel pack, okay? Of all the slides in the carousel pack. So that's cool. If this, amazing. Okay, I want it to look like this. Awesome. But let's say you want each slide to be a little different, okay? But you still want them to match. You still want them to look cohesive and intentional. Like you don't want the kitchen in this one, and then the next one is going to be like a cottage in the mountains. Makes no sense. You want them to be cohesive. We've grouped them in a way that if you want to do that, you can just very easily click into this next kitchen. So, okay, we're clicking the second slide, and now I want to swap this into there. I click into here, I go set as background. So you're clicking those three dots, and then you're clicking set as background. You click into your third slide, click those three dots, set as background. So as you can see, I am changing the background of each of these individual slides. They're all different now, but they're all very intentional. They all make sense together. It's not like it's just like, a dog on one and then a high-rise building on the other. They all make sense. So as you scroll down, you're going to see a bunch of images. You're going to see that they're grouped kind of in like-minded images. And for here, my biggest suggestion here is you see these little hearts on the top left-hand corner, okay? So every image has one of these hearts. And what happens is if you like an image and you click that heart, it saves that image into your favorites folder. Now, as you guys can see up here, there's a folder button. If you click into your folder button, you're going to see that you have a favorites folder in there. Every account comes with a favorites folder. It's going to be like this pink, light red color. And when you hit that heart, it's going to automatically add whatever photo you like into that favorites folder immediately. And the reason why I bring this up is because as you are scrolling through, you guys know what your look and what your vibe is the most like. If you are looking for locations that look very similar to where you are, or maybe just the vibe of your social media is very light and airy and modern. Maybe you want to go through, you want to like every modern looking photo. Maybe the whites and the grays, and you're like, okay, yes, this is my vibe. I want all of these. You can just go through, and I promise you, if you just sit down for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops, you can get through this entire library because it is grouped the way that it is. So let's say I'm in New York and I've hit over here. Clearly, this is not New York. Okay, I just scroll. Where's the next chunk? We're obviously in Arizona. Cool. Here's some high-rise buildings. Like, are these kind of New York-esque? Do I want these? Okay, these are the suburbs. Amazing. This looks like the area that I service. Let's go ahead. Let's like every single one of them in here. Makes it super easy to add to your favorites folder, because that way, when you are editing a post in the future, instead of going through the whole library, you just simply go straight to folders, straight to your favorites, only choose from your favorites. The reason why I bring up the favorites folder as well is because at the very end, I'm going to show you guys how you can set up your advanced settings. So when you are in that generation flow, I'm going to show you how you can set your advanced settings up to tell the AI to only ever choose from your favorites folder or any other folder you set up in here by clicking create folder. If you want to get really, really deep into it and make one for kitchens and make one for nature and make one for whatever, you can get as deep into it as you want. But at the bare minimum, everybody should have a favorites folder. And that way, if you do want to edit, you can go into here. Or if you do want to tell the AI only choose from this folder specifically, I'm going to show you how to do that. So make sure that you are taking advantage of really liking the photos that you like. The other option that you have in here is to click upload images. So let's say you have taken your own images, you've done it with a local photographer, or maybe you are really, really great at taking photos, or you have some team photos, listing photos, local photos, maybe even stock photos you found that you really love. You can go ahead, you can click into upload images. And what this is going to do is this is going to allow you to upload any image that you have saved to your device, okay? It needs to be an image specifically. The editor does not have the ability to bring in your videos into here because it's not a video editing platform. So images you can bring into here, your own specific videos you cannot bring into here to edit. We'll go over videos a little bit deeper once we get out of the editor, but that's just something to keep in mind. You can upload images into here. And once you've uploaded your images, they're going to go directly into this folder here called My Uploads. So you can very easily access them in there. They are also going to have these little red hearts. So if you want to heart any of your uploaded images, you can heart them the same way that you would any other image that's in the image library. The next option you have is the shapes. So if you click into shapes, you can see we've got a ton of shapes to choose from up here to get really creative with your designs. Let's say you want to add some stars in here, or a gradient, an arc, whatever you decide, you can kind of, let's say we want to do stars. It'll show you some of the different star options. You can click right into it. It's going to add it directly to your design. And then through there, you can make this larger or smaller just by kind of pulling it, rotating it. You're going to see this little bar come up, and through here, you can change the color of that star. You can change the transparency. So let's say you want it to be a little bit lighter, a little more see-through. Go ahead, change that transparency. You can also delete it, place it wherever you'd like, all that good stuff. So you can really get creative with your designs by adding different shapes to it. The next thing are the text. So of course, if you're doing a carousel, it's always going to come with the header / title plus the subtitle. Those are these two things here. But then let's say you want to add some additional text. You can also go ahead and click the add text button. That's going to give you just a little piece of text here that you can go ahead and manipulate however you want. Again, you can change the font, the size, you can add whatever you want in there. Maybe it's a specific call to action or whatever you want. You can add additional text by using that add text button. And then we have your branding. So as you guys know, when you set up your branding with Nick, you guys went through adding your contact information, your headshots, your logos, if you want them in there. In here, you are going to be able to toggle on and off specific fields. If let's say you're like, you know what, I don't want my name on here, or I don't want my headshot on this one, or maybe you've uploaded several headshots and you just want to swap the headshot on this design, you can very easily do that through here, toggle on and off, maybe change your logo. If you have a couple of them, you can just go ahead and click into here. Things to keep in mind in here are that these are all just simply suggestions. If you do not want to put your website, you don't have to do that. If you don't want to put your phone number, you don't have to do that. If you want to put in a DRE number or a license number or something like that, you can very easily add that on instead of the brokerage or instead of the phone number, move things around. These are just simply suggestion fields. And we've kind of created the design in a way that your name will always be the biggest or the most prominent. So maybe don't, keep that in mind when you're designing. Don't put something stupid in the first line or something that you don't really care too much about. Make sure that whatever the most important information is the most prominent. But otherwise, it's entirely up to you how you want to fill that out. These are just suggestions, okay? So you can very easily do that. When you go through the templates, so those suggested templates that we went through earlier, you guys are going to find that some of them have contact information on every carousel slide. Some of them have contact information on the first slide and the last, like this one right here. Some of them have it on just the first or just the last. It all just varies on the template. Reason being is because we want you guys putting out variety, okay? We don't want every single post that goes out to look the exact same. You want to be putting out a ton of variety. And if you guys have been on a call with me before, you know how I feel about the contact information. I think it's important to have on there, but I think that sometimes we can get a little bit carried away with it. And it's something to just keep in mind. You don't have to have every single post go out with your headshot front and center. You can sprinkle it in here and there, but it's also really nice to have posts that go out that aren't just, headshot, contact information. If somebody has landed on your page, they're going to find your contact information, okay? It's in your caption, it's in your bio, it's on your previous posts. You don't have to have it on every single slide. If somebody has made it to slide 5 of your carousel, trust me, if they're that interested, they're going to make it to the end, or they can click back to the front to find your contact information. You don't need to have it on every single slide. Again, though, completely up to you. Should you choose to have it on every slide, just toggle it on, you're good to go. You can even manipulate everything here. So the same way you can every other element, you can very easily choose to make it smaller, bigger, move it around, all that good stuff. The other thing you can do, so this is very, very important, especially if you are getting creative with your designs, okay, is make sure you check out the layers up here. So if you click into layers, you're going to see that every element on your slide has a layer control. So if you are wanting to put a shape behind your head, maybe the arc or the circle, you can actually go ahead and you can kind of move your layers around to make sure that, okay, you know, I'm bringing this star over here, and now it's covering my face. And I'm like, oh, shoot, no, I kind of just wanted it in the back like this. You can go ahead, you can find that star wherever it is in here. There it is. And just make sure that you pull it down behind yourself. And that way it's going to move itself behind. Click into that. There we go. So layers are very, very important, especially if you're getting creative with your designs, okay? Brightness, also important. If you want to control the brightness of the background, maybe you want it to be a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, you can go ahead and control that darkness. Your color palettes as well. This is going to have a bunch of color palettes. Every time you've created a color palette, plus all of our kind of suggested preloaded color palettes will be in here, so you can always play around with these. And then one really important thing to keep in mind. So for those of you who are getting very creative with your designs, you definitely want to make sure that you know about this link feature, okay? So this link feature, this little paperclip just right up here on the top left, often overlooked because it's really small, but it's very, very important, okay? So this paperclip, see how there's an X through it right now? And then when I click into it, the X goes away, or the dash goes away. So when this is open, so think of this paperclip. When this paperclip is open, this paperclip is telling your design that whatever slide you are on, ideally the first, is your master slide. So whatever you do to this master slide, so if I take this subtext and I move it up, it now has moved the subtext up on all the subsequent slides, okay? So it's basically saying, okay, I want to paperclip you together. I want to link you together so that I'm not making changes to each slide one by one. Like if I move my logo a little bit, it's not, you know, only changing on one slide and then I'm like, darn, I need to go to the next one. This is basically telling the design, okay, we are using you as the master slide. Listen to me and what I do and make sure to apply that across all the slides if they have that element. So obviously this logo is in here. It's not in the second slide, but the logo is at the end. So if they have that element, whatever I'm doing with that element, do that to any slides that have that element. If you want to treat in each individual slide as a separate slide, if you want to make it completely different, you're moving around the subtext, you're moving around your headshot, but you only want to change it for that one slide, make sure that you are in the slide you want to change and make sure that your paperclip is turned off. So you're telling it, no, I'm only working on this. So let's say you want to move this subtext all the way down. It only moves it for this slide. See how it didn't move it for the rest of them? Because it knows we're not linked right now. I'm just working on this right here, okay? So that's a really, really important thing to keep in mind. Just as you're designing, it'll make your life so much easier. Final thing, I'm going to click into templates one more time. So this is where we were at the very beginning. We went through those suggested carousel templates. You also, if you decide you don't want to do a carousel the way that we just did, you also have the ability to just click into Reels, okay? So if you would rather do one of those aesthetic B-roll style videos, make sure that you're in templates and then you click into Reels. You're not in the image templates, you're in the reel templates. Then you can scroll down, you can see what options we have for Reels. It's going to kind of take that, that caption that you have, and it's going to turn it into just a quick hook. So buying a home shouldn't feel like a mystery adventure. Read the caption, you can move that around, all that good stuff. Let's say you want to change the video in the background, click into Reels on the left side, and as you scroll down, you're going to see there are a bunch of aesthetic B-roll style videos to choose from. We actually just added, I think, almost 60 additional ones last Friday, so there are tons to choose from in here. You can go ahead, you can click into one of these. You can choose your sound under sounds, and then you hit save, and now you've swapped that carousel style post for a reel, for a video, okay? So tons of options. While you are editing, if you are happy with your design, So if you are happy with your template, you've gone ahead, you've done something like this, you're really, really happy with your template, you can actually go ahead and click into save as a template and save as a new template. And what this does is underneath your templates, under your saved templates, you have all the templates that you've worked on in the past. So this is really great if you have a very cohesive look that you are putting out. Maybe you really gravitate towards like 4 or 5 different looks and you kind of rotate between them, or it's just a design that you're super proud of and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to this because I want to be able to, work off of this in the future. Go ahead, save it as a template. And now the same way you can very easily access these suggested templates and make changes to every aspect of them, you can also do that with your own saved templates. So it makes it really, really easy. If you do love something and you're done with it, you're like, oh yes, I want to come back to that one day for a different post. Just click to save it as a template. And then now you have it in your saved templates. So when you are done with designing, just make sure you click save and exit. That's going to save all of your changes to your post. I'm not going to do that here because I don't actually want to save this. I'm just going to exit without saving. But let's say that we came up with this post. These are all the changes we made. You're going to see that reflected after you click save and exit. It's going to look like this. Okay. So here, then you can take a look and you're like, all right, now I have done my caption. I've done my design. What am I doing next? Maybe you're like, cool, I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead, schedule and approve. Fantastic. But let's say you want to do a little bit more with the post. Now we are going to head to the right part of the post right here. Okay. So we had skipped that when we first generated this. We said we were going to come back to it because now it's going to make a lot more sense. So down here, what you're going to do is you're going to ignore what you see on my screen here where it says syndicate post. My account is part of a team plan. So that's why it's showing that. You're not going to see that on yours. You're going to see tag and collaborate. You're going to see tag and collaborate specifically on Instagram posts. You're not going to see that option on any other type of platform. You're going to see it specifically on Instagram. So if you are collaborating or tagging users on Instagram already, if that's already something that's in your flow, you can very easily do that through here. Things to keep in mind are that when you are collaborating or tagging a user, you need to make sure you are writing their handle in properly. So there's no spelling mistakes. You're not accidentally putting an I instead of a 1 or a underscore instead of a dash. You need to be very mindful of those things because you want to make sure that you're collaborating or tagging the correct user. If you are collaborating, your person needs to have a public profile. You can't collaborate with a private profile. It needs to be a public profile. And you can send the collaboration request up to 4 people. Okay. Things to keep in mind as well. All of these options work the same way they do on Instagram. So if you are sending a collaboration request, a collaboration is basically this post is going to show up on both your feed, your main feed, and the person who you're collaborating with. That person needs to accept that collaboration request once it goes out. When your post publishes, they're going to get a notification in their Instagram that says, so-and-so wants you to collaborate on this post. They have to actually go ahead and approve that. So if you're wondering and you've sent out a collaboration request and you're like, this didn't show up on my, team member's account, more likely than not, they just haven't approved it yet from their Instagram. It's something that they have to do from Instagram because this is an Instagram feature. Okay. The other thing is some people have settings that don't allow others to collaborate with them or don't allow others to tag them. You can tag people as well. A tag shows up in their tagged posts, not in their main feed. So things to keep in mind. Again, this is using and built off of Instagram's features already. So if that person has a setting that doesn't allow people to tag them or doesn't allow people to collaborate, all of those things will still obviously be applicable. So we can't kind of bypass that. So if they do have specific settings, it will follow whatever their rules are. So things to keep in mind there. Again, that is for Instagram only. And that's if you're doing it already, fantastic. Or if you want to get into it, fantastic. If it's something that stresses you out, don't even worry about it. You can completely ignore that part. The next thing is the convert to video option. So let's say you really like this carousel post, but you're like, oh, this would be really cool if there was a video version of it, like a slideshow version of it. If you click convert video on any carousel post. So it can be an AI generated one. It can be a listing post. It can be a post that you've created with multiple images in it. As long as there are multiple slides in it, you can convert it to a video version. So if you click convert video, it's going to ask you what slide pause time you want. Obviously, don't make them too fast because you want the reader to be able to read your slides, but don't make them too slow that people are bored. I find that like the 3 to 4 second mark is fine. Slide transition, you can choose whatever slides transition you would like, and then you can choose some audio, so some music to go along with it. So that is a really great way to kind of incorporate more videos to your post. I'm going to show you what one of those looks like when it's done. So here's an example. As you can see, this is a video. I'm going to turn the music just off just so it's not too loud for you guys. Hit play. And as you can see, this is now your carousel post, but repurposed into a video. So this is a really, really cool way to kind of sprinkle in some more video content in addition to those aesthetic B-roll videos without having to do any work other than just clicking the convert video button. The next thing you can do is you can click generate AI image. So what this does is this is going to take that caption and it's going to kind of create a description for AI. So let's say you're like, you know what, I really like the carousels that were created. I like the caption. I don't have the time to be going into the editor today, but I have a vision for what I want the background of this carousel post to be. I wish I could just, like create that image out of thin air. You can totally do that. So if you just want to do that, you have an image in your mind, you can click into generate AI image. It's going to give you a little description. AI aims to please, so it can be a little wordy here. My biggest suggestion, honestly, I would just scrap that description and I would tell it exactly what you want. Be very, direct. It'll listen to you. So just, a beautiful cottage on a warm summer day. You can see the lake in the back. Perfect. The other thing you can do is you can choose whether or not you want that AI image to include people generated in it. I always suggest to toggle this off. I think it's very distracting when there's people in the image. I think that, again, AI aims to please. So sometimes it overdoes it with the people and, you'll get like 4 or 5 people in an image that really doesn't need 4 or 5 people. So I like to say toggle this off and then click generate image. And what that is going to do is that is going to take that carousel post and it's going to take whatever image you've told it to generate and plug that into the background instead. So as you can see on the 29th, I have an example of this. I just went ahead and I told it, I want the Austin skyline at sunset. That's all I said. And it generated me the Austin skyline at sunset. Perfect. I didn't have to go online and look for a stock photo or take my own or even enter the editor at all. I didn't even have to go into the editor. I just told it exactly what I want as the background. It generated it, and now I'm good to go to schedule that. Super, super easy. The final thing you can do here is you can generate a video script. So if you are one of those people that is comfortable taking your own videos, so if you are already doing it, if it's already something you pull out your phone, you take a video of yourself, you're following video scripts, it's something that you're comfortable doing, okay? It's already in your flow. You can still continue to do this, okay? So what you can do is you can actually click into generate video script. And what that is going to do, so I'm going to click into this post over here, click generate video script. Let me click it. Well, what that's going to do is that's going to generate you a video script that is based off of this caption here, okay? So you're not going to be able to film it on this platform, but if it's already something you're doing, it's going to take that caption. Let's say you really like, feeling lost at an open house. Okay, cool. It's going to take that caption. It's going to give you a video script that you can follow. So you can set up your phone, take the video. Now you have a video to post that goes along with that caption. And if that's something that you want to do, now you no longer have to find a platform to give you video scripts. You no longer have to come up with them yourself. It'll just take that caption. It'll give you a video script to follow. And in that case, if you want to sprinkle some of those videos to schedule, you can very easily then take that post, click these 3 dots, click upload media, and upload any image or video you want. So if you have generated the post, you're like, this is an awesome caption. You know what? I'm actually not feeling the carousel or the reels or any of the editor. I have my own photo or I have my own video that I think would work really well here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click into these three dots. I'm going to click upload media, and that's going to allow you to upload any image, any video. Okay. So you're still going to get that fantastic caption, but now you are sprinkling in a little bit more of your own stuff. So I'll give you an example of one of those. So I think I have it on the 29th. Beautiful. Okay, so for an example, here's one right here. I've got that caption all written out, ready to go. But I was like, you know what? I actually don't want to go into the editor. I just want to post a photo of myself in front of a sold sign. So I went ahead, I clicked into upload media. I uploaded this image. I put my own photo in there. It's an AI image that I just created online, but let's pretend this is a real image of me in front of a sold sign. I uploaded that in there, and now awesome. Now I can sprinkle in some of my own photos and videos along with that caption that I didn't have to write, and you're all good to go. So that's another option that you have if you're really digging the captions, but you want to start to sprinkle in some of your own photos or videos as kind of standalones. Okay. So once you're happy, of course, you go ahead, you click schedule and approve, and then you're going to flip that over to a scheduled status. It's going to go out on the date and the time that you want it to go out on. A couple additional things that you can do while you're playing around is you can also upload your own content. So let's say you are already a superstar, you're already really, really good at just scheduling your own content, or maybe you want to try to kind of challenge yourself this month. You're like, you know what, this month I want to try for every Wednesday, I'm going to post my own post. So all the AI ones will be kind of around me, but on Wednesdays, I want to do a little, here's where I'm working this Wednesday post. You can go ahead, you can choose your date, you can click into more options, and you can click upload your own content. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to give you a completely blank post, okay? So from there, it's always going to default to an Instagram post. So as you can see, there's no image, there's no caption, there's nothing. It's a completely blank post. So through here, what you can do is you can choose what platforms you want to create your post for. So let's go Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can click into that platform button on the top left-hand. And then you can go ahead and write your caption. So if you have a caption that you know is perfect, you can go ahead and say, had a fantastic weekend at the Austin Real Estate Conference, met tons of new agents and learned a lot. Whatever. Let's say you have a great caption and you're like, fantastic, I'm just going to write it right in there or copy and paste it. We're good to go. But let's say you're like, I don't even know. Honestly, that wasn't my best work, but like, I don't have the brain power right now to come up with a caption. Type whatever you want in there. Type something like that. Make a spelling mistake. Maybe I have 3 S's at the end of agents. Click save. And then you can go ahead and click enhance your caption. And what AI is going to do is it's actually going to take that caption for you. It's going to zhuzh it up. Okay, so it's going to make it a little bit longer, more informational. So just got back from an amazing weekend at the Austin Real Estate Conference. It was packed with eye-opening insights and fantastic new connections. Here's what made it special, and kind of breaks it down. But let's say you're like, you know what, I actually don't want it to be that long. I want it to be a little bit shorter. Again, you can go ahead, go click regenerate this caption, choose to make it shorter, more personal, less personal, or make this 5 sentences or less. Tell it something specific. Click regenerate, and now it's taking that caption, it's giving you something shorter. So had a blast at the Austin Real Estate Conference, learned a bunch, met awesome agents, and found new ways to help with buying and selling homes. Can't wait to share these tips with you. Want to know more about the real estate world? Let's chat. Perfect. Now it's good to go. I have a caption. I didn't have to spend a million years trying to figure it out. Now what you can do is you can go ahead and figure out your media. So let's say you have a photo you want to upload. You just go ahead, click upload your own media. And now you can upload whatever photo you want. Let's say we do, again, that photo of me. I go ahead, click save. And it's going to upload that photo for me. I can continue adding on images. So let's say you and your team went to this great conference and you have a couple photos from the weekend. Just keep clicking that plus button. and keep adding your images, and it's going to create a carousel style post for you. Okay. So really, really great way to just build out whatever post you want. The other thing you can do in here is, let's say you don't have a photo you want to upload, but you do want to take advantage of the editor. Go ahead, click into edit design. And now it's going to give you a completely blank design to start playing with. So you can write whatever you want in here. You can change, like add whatever images. You can use them as a background. You can simply click into them and make a collage, get really creative, add some shapes, move your headshot around, big, small. This is perfect for if you want to create posts that are like Happy Halloween or Happy Valentine's Day or, Testimonial Fridays. And then you just copy and post in a testimonial, for an example. You can really get creative with the editor without having to, go elsewhere to edit these things or hire someone on Fiverr or something like that to create a design for you. You can do it yourself. The other thing you can do is, let's say you're like, you know what, actually, I just want an image. Go ahead, click generate AI image, same thing, tell it what you want to generate. It's going to be a standalone image, and then you can just post the image. So instead of having to use stock photo or something like that. So you can really use all the different options to kind of create your own post, even if you don't want to go through the generation flow, or if you just want to try to kind of, challenge yourself to come up with your own posts here and there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to delete some of these. Then a couple other things you can do. So dragging and dropping, obviously, if your post is in an expired or in a unscheduled status, you can very easily go ahead and pull your posts around just like this. As long as they are obviously not scheduled, you can drag and drop them wherever you would like. And then duplicating. So you can also duplicate any of your posts. This is a great tip for your listings, okay? So let's say you've gone ahead, you've generated a listing through the create property listing feature. You can go ahead then and you can click into duplicate, okay? And what that does is that creates an exact copy of your post. You can do it for any of the posts. It doesn't have to be a listing post. It's just very helpful for listing posts. So you go ahead, you duplicate it. It duplicates absolutely everything about your post. And then you go in and you're like, okay, let's go into the editor and let's change this to an open house post. And now I'm going to duplicate that post and I'm going to have it go out every Friday for the next 5 weeks, because I have open houses for this house every weekend. I have an open house for this house right here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to post an open house post every Friday to let people know, hey, this weekend you can come check it out. And all you got to do is duplicate it, add your open house details by clicking into edit caption, edit the design if you want to edit it, and schedule it. It makes it so much easier to get your posts out. And then another additional thing you can do, again, with the convert video button, is you can convert this to a little video. So now you can also kind of sprinkle in some more video content, same exact open house or listing that you're kind of showcasing, but you're doing it in a bit of a different way. So it's adding more variety. And then the final thing we were going to go through before I head into the chat is just the advanced settings. So I promised you guys that we were going to come back to advanced settings. When we went through the generation flow in the beginning of this, we clicked into generate. We got that nice generation bar on the right-hand side, and we scrolled down and advanced settings was right here, okay? So after you've chosen your days, your platforms, all that good stuff, you have advanced settings. So you can click into advanced settings and you're going to see a bunch of different options open up down here, okay? So the first thing is your saved templates. So this toggle right here, when this is toggled off, this is telling the AI, use the suggested templates. So use the templates that are within the editor that we have created for you. Add your colors, your headshots, your contact information, all that good stuff. But I'm trusting you to choose one of those suggested templates when that's toggled off. If you toggle this on, you are telling the AI, I only want you to use my saved templates, the ones that I have created and the ones that I have saved, okay? And this is a good option if you, one, have a variety of saved templates. You've got tons of them, okay? Because if you toggle that on and you only have, let's say, 2 to 4 saved templates, you're going to generate a month's worth of content and it is only going to choose from those 2 to 4 templates. So if you're looking for variety, that's not going to be the way to go. Okay. If you are the kind of person who is not looking for variety though, if you're like, I actually only want to use the same template over and over again, that's where you can go ahead and toggle that on if you don't have a ton of variety. Okay. So things to keep in mind there. Don't toggle that on unless you are very aware that you are only then choosing from that, your saved templates. You also have your background source. So as a default, this will be selected on all, okay? So that's gonna go through all the images, the 18,000 images that are in there now when it's on all. If you set up your favorites, so the way that we went through and we set up those favorites with the hearts, now you can scroll down here and you can tell it, okay, I only want you to choose from my favorite images. And now it's only choosing images that look like the area that you're in, that match your vibe online, whether that be bright and airy and modern or dark and moody or colorful. It's only going to choose from the images that you tell it to. Or as you create your folders, you can also tell it to specifically pull from a specific folder. So your kitchens folder, your nature folder, your whatever it is, always keeping in mind that if you do choose a folder, it will only choose from those images. So if you have created a kitchens folder and you only have 3 kitchen images in there, it's only going to choose from those 3 kitchens. So just make sure that you are keeping that in mind. The next is, of course, your colors. So applying your colors, your contact information, your headshot, your logo, all that good stuff you went through with Nick already. If you have those toggled on, they're going to apply to your templates. Your footer, this is a great little added extra that you can add as just an extra little piece of information. So your footer is a piece of text that's going to be added to the end of every generated caption. So this is great for if you want to add in your contact information again, or a very specific call to action. You add it into your footer and it very seamlessly just gets added to, let me see. It gets very seamlessly added to the end of your generated captions. It just looks like a part of your caption, but it saves you from having to do it manually. So that is a great option for those of you who want to add your contact information or any other additional piece of info into the caption. One big suggestion I have here is for your DRE number. If you are in a location that requires you to add your DRE number to your posts, you can actually just add it to your captions like this, and then you're not muddying up your designs. Nobody wants to see, a photo of you at a team event and then on the top it's like DRE number. Just add it into your footer right here, and now it's compliant. It's added to the end of every caption and you're good to go. Hashtags and emojis, of course, you can add your hashtags and your emojis in through here. Entirely up to you whether you want to use emojis, whether you want to use hashtags. We went through hashtags extensively last week, but essentially hashtags, if you're not into them already, they don't carry nearly the weight that they used to. So I would not stress heavily about hashtags. Make sure you're using very hyper local hashtags, that you're not hashtagging things like hashtag home or hashtag realtor. Thousands of people are using that every day. It's a throwaway hashtag. And that you're not so specific that you're doing, hashtag Irma realtor in Austin 2026, whatever. Nobody's using that hashtag. So something just super, super hyper local. With that being said, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go into the chat because I have about 15 minutes before I got to give Nick this account back. So I want to make sure that I hit these questions. Okay. So when can we favorite reels? So Jean-Luc, that's something that we definitely have down the pipeline. I don't have an exact date for you, but it's definitely part of our pipeline. Will only your followers be able to see the post? So Darlene, it depends. One, you gotta have a public account. So whether you are on Instagram or, your Facebook page is public, but yeah, you got to make sure that you're public and not private. Your followers are going to be the first to see it. But this is organic content. So these are not ads. If you are looking to try to run ads to find people outside of your network, that's a completely different flow. And you'll have to do that on each individual platform just because they have their own kind of ad setup. If a post goes viral or if your friends are liking it or interacting with it, that increases the chances of other people organically seeing it, but it's not an ad in a sense that it's like being put out to people who might not know you. Is there a way to better match the image to the caption? So it's definitely something that the AI is working on right now in the background. A way to get around that is do the favorite images. Honestly, it's like a surefire thing to do. You just favorite your images, and then it's always an image that you've approved. I've been in the habit of posting not only to my Facebook business page, but also to my personal page because people follow on both profiles. I assume once something is posted to a Facebook page, I can then share it to my profile. Emily, that is a fantastic question. Yes. So the reason why you can only post to Facebook business pages through us is because we are working on top of Meta's API. So whatever Meta kind of allows third-party companies like us to work on top of, that's what they allow us access to. They are very, very strict about allowing third-party platforms, not just us, like literally any third-party platform, to connect to a personal Facebook page because they have a ton of issues with like profile takeovers and scams on there. So they don't allow any access to that. You got to post your Facebook page and then you're going to hit that little share arrow and you can share to your personal page. That way you can hit both your public business Facebook page, but also the people that are following you. Another thing you can do for your Facebook, so Facebook business page, if you are looking to build that up, go to your Facebook business page, click the 3 dots on the top right-hand corner, scroll down to invite friends, and it's going to allow you with one click to invite all of your personal Facebook friends to like your Facebook business page. That is a really, really quick way of literally, if you have a ton of followers on your personal page, you do that, you're inviting all of them to like that page. It's a really quick way to grow that page. Can you go back if, let's say, you regenerate and like the first version better? Laddie, that's actually coming out within the next week or two. We have an undo regeneration button. You can't do it quite yet, but you're going to see that within the next week or two. What if we want to change the image? Okay, so yeah, we already went through that. I created a listing post. Notice my logo and headshot or not. Okay, so Emily, the logo and the headshot, it doesn't apply to the listing posts quite yet. But that is something that we're going to introduce within the next like 2 to 3 months tops. I know it's very, very high on our list. It's because that generation flow is a little bit different than the AI generation flow. So it's not something that was built in. But now that we've launched the new editor, I know that I'm pretty sure you're a bit of a newer user. The new editor came out a couple of weeks ago. Now that we've launched the new editor, we actually are going back into listings, market reports, and trending news, and we're updating all of that to have the same flow as the new editor. It would be great if you could select 2 carousel images for an example, the first and the last image, so you can make the same changes to specific. Ooh, yeah, I love that. That is a great suggestion, Jason. Okay. I'm going to make sure that we put that on our list. For those of you who are new to advanced trainings, we keep track of all of the feedback you guys give us, whether you give it to us in these calls or whether you email us. We actually have like a full list of every suggestion, every piece of feedback you guys have given us. And then we actually keep track of what is the most, what are the things that are the most in demand, and then we build what you guys want to see. So if you have any suggestions at all, the one that Jason just suggested is really good. He's saying, you know, if you could select multiple slides in the carousel and say, okay, change the background for these 3 slides, maybe like every other slide or the first and the last. Love that idea. That's a fantastic idea. I'm going to make sure to add that to our list. How to add one of those translucent boxes so we can highlight the text. So Miguel, you would do that under shapes. So make sure to click one of the shapes. And then when you click the shape, you can select the transparency of the shape. So make it lighter or darker, and then click layers to control the layers of the shape. In this call, we did an example of that with the star, and I sent it behind my headshot. You would do something like that. How to get templates from the beginning, how to get to the design center with the template. Helen, you have to generate a post in order to get into the editor. So if you want to edit a post, you just got to generate a post first. If you are looking to favorite images, play with templates, just go ahead, pick one day, generate like 1 Instagram post, click into edit design, and that'll give you access to the editor. Can carousel images be randomized instead of having the same one on all tiles? For an instant open house or a new listing, I want to showcase different photos in the carousel. So Ryan, right now, carousel images will be randomized for some of the AI generated templates. They won't be randomized for the open house or the new listings, just because that's created in a way that like it very intentionally wants you to pick the images that you like best. However, that being said, I can totally see how like once you've chosen the images, if you want to do like a little remix, and then it kind of moves them in a different order, that would be really cool. So I'm going to put that on our list. So like a remix option that just kind of moves the images around. Until then, what you can do is you can click into the edit design and you can move the slides on the bottom the way that I kind of drag and dropped them. You can do that same thing, just drag and drop them on the bottom. Sharon, the update has not gone out yet. We're hoping within the next week or two. We're still in testing phases for all the prompts and all that good stuff. So a week or two, I'll give you guys a heads up when that update goes out. Search, missed that, not generating what I want under the search filter. Share, if you're finding that the search is a little finicky, just scroll down. Honestly, you can get through the whole image library. I did it for one of our users the other day. He's in Toronto and I scrolled through the entire image library. It literally took me 30 minutes and I just hearted every single one of them. Makes it so easy. And then you don't have to even go through the images ever again. Anita, that AI platform, I literally just put a photo of myself, my headshot, in ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to turn me into a realtor standing in front of a just sold sign. And that was it. I just put it right into ChatGPT. It wasn't like a paid for platform or anything like that. And I was shocked because up until like maybe a month or two ago, if you put any image of a human being inside of ChatGPT and you asked it to do something, it would kind of distort that person so that they looked different. And it never actually looked like you. It always just kind of looked like a bootleg version of you. I'm sure if you've given that a try, you probably have seen it. It like doesn't look anything like you. So I was fully prepared for it to look completely different than me. And then it came out and it was my actual headshot. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, cool. They've clearly, they've clearly done some work in ChatGPT on the image side of things, because before it refused to take your image. So give it a try. Let me know how it works for you. Awesome. Thanks so much, Cher, for coming. And then cannot post a Twitter platform. Helen, yeah, you can. Twitter is a part of the generation flow. So you can click Twitter when you go through, TikTok. Okay, you're talking about TikTok. So Twitter is a part of the generation flow. I see that that was your first question there. You can totally just choose that upon generation or create a manual tweet through there. Keeping in mind, obviously, that with Twitter, you have a way shorter character limit. So make sure it's nice and short. It'll let you know if you're over your character limit. And then image wise, Twitter will allow you up to 4 images, no more than that. So just make sure that you stay less than that. TikTok, so we touched on that in the beginning. TikTok is just not part of the generation flow. However, when you do create a reel, you can very easily select TikTok on the top left-hand corner. The way that we are switching platforms, you can go ahead, select TikTok, you can schedule it out there. Reason why it's not part of the generation flow, we kind of went through this in the beginning, but reason why it's not a part of the generation flow is because TikTok does really well with like very personalized talking face videos. It's not going to do very well with like informational style videos like these ones. So we're kind of toying with whether or not we even want to add it to the generation. You might see it there in the future, and then we might just have a little bit of an educational piece to just let people know that like it's not going to perform great. You're competing with some like seriously great stuff on TikTok. TikTok has a very, very high standard for what goes viral on there. So yeah, it's something that we're kind of toying with, but until then, you can always repurpose reels in there. Or if you are taking your own videos and if you are comfortable taking your own videos, just simply click upload your own content and schedule it to go out on TikTok. You can do that for any one of the platforms. You can schedule any of your content to go out. You can use it as a scheduling platform if you want. So you can very easily schedule straight to TikTok through there. That I now want to delete and hit yes for delete, but the post is still there. Susan, give it a little refresh. Maybe it just needs a little refresh. If you click delete, refresh your URL. If it's not deleted, then just shoot us off an email to support@RealEstateContent.ai. We can get it deleted out of there. Google My Business is very high on our list. You're definitely going to see Google Business at some point this year. Don't worry. That one's very, very high on our list. Amazing, Anita. I'm so glad. Honestly, it's always so great to see your name in here. I really appreciate you coming. And can you show how to set up or schedule many days post in the calendar? Yeah. So Helen, I think I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. So in the beginning, we went through the whole generation flow. I think you might have plopped in just a little bit late, so you missed that part. But when you click your topic and you click into generate, right here on the right-hand side, you are going to see a calendar pop up, okay? So you're going to be able to select up to 7 days that you want to generate for. You can choose whatever days you want on the calendar. My only suggestion here is don't do 7 days straight like this. You don't want to talk about the same thing for 7 days in a row. Do 7 days like this, like 7 Wednesdays in a row, or even better, every other Wednesday. Again, if I want to schedule out all of February, I can totally do that. But just keep in mind that you are doing 7 days at a time so that you're not getting repetitive and choosing, 28 days worth of talking about the same topic. Hop back into this chat here. We have a couple minutes before I have to give this account back to Nick for his onboarding. And that's good. Can I post this in Nextdoor? So we're not integrated with Nextdoor, Kelso, but if there's anything in there that you want to post, just go ahead, click copy caption. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to share my screen again. Any post that is generated through here has this button right here, copy caption. That's going to copy that entire caption for you. So if you want to repurpose it for Google My Business or Nextdoor or anything else, just go ahead, click copy caption. It's going to copy it to your device. Then you can paste it anywhere you want to. Similarly to the design that is generated, you can click those 3 dots and you can click download media. So instead of uploading media, you're going to download the media. And now it's going to download all of these slides for you. And then let's say you do want to post to Google Business or Nextdoor, or if you just want to repurpose them for whatever reason, you can go ahead and download it. That media is yours to use however you would like to use. Emily, so you can pick the time of day for your posts. Do not stress about it. Honestly, it doesn't matter nearly as much as it used to years ago because your feed is no longer chronological. People, like when you scroll through your Instagram, you can see a post that was posted 5 days ago, and then you see a post that was posted 2 hours ago, then one that was posted 2 minutes ago. It's all over the place. So do not stress about the time of day. You do not need to have that like optimized. You are way better off making sure that you have a post going out every single day at a maybe less than optimal time than you are. Some people stress about the posting time and they'll get like 2 posts out a week at optimal time. Nobody's going to see those posts. You want to make sure you have a ton of stuff going out. Don't stress about the time. If you're really wondering like, I wonder what could like, what could be best practice? I usually think about when your ideal client is scrolling. Is your ideal client a young parent, for an example? So then you're thinking, okay, so what are, maybe it's when babies go down to nap, or maybe it's, at after 8 p.m. when baby's gone to sleep and now mom or dad have some scrolling time. Okay, I want it to go out that night. Maybe your ideal client is a young professional and you're like, that person is going to be seated at their desk by 9 a.m. I want to make sure that my post goes out first thing in the morning before 9 a.m. So just think about your ideal client. But again, do not stress about it. Honestly, the timing does not matter nearly as much as it used to. It really doesn't. It's kind of like hashtags. It's not really relevant. The algorithm does what the algorithm is going to do, and it doesn't really care that much about the time. Did you say you moved an expired post? I got scared to post, so they expired. Yeah, Laddie, just click into any expired post and drag it into a date in the future, and you're good to go. You haven't lost that post forever. So you don't have to worry about like, oh shoot, it's in the past now and I can't use it. Just literally click into it, drag it, or click into the date and the time on your expired post and choose a different date and a time, and it'll bump it directly to the future for you. What's the best way to capture leads integrating with ManyChat? Love ManyChat. Definitely do it if you are integrated with ManyChat. What you would do, Miguel, is just in your caption, make sure that whatever trigger you have with ManyChat, whether it's, comment, property for your free home estimate, whatever your call to action is on ManyChat, you can just add it to the caption via edit caption make sure it goes out, make sure your ManyChat, is set up for that post. And then when it goes out, it'll just start doing its thing. But yeah, ManyChat is a great way to get leads for sure. Okay. Alrighty. I have 4 minutes before I have to give this account back to Nick. Guys, you were so fantastic. You're always fantastic. I always have the best groups on Fridays. Seriously, I appreciate it so much. I know this was a lot of information and sometimes I get a little blabby. So I appreciate you all sticking it out to the end. I know it's Friday and Fridays are precious. I'm going to make sure that this recording is saved to my computer. I'll get it up on YouTube for you guys, and then I'll send it to you via email. So if you ever want to rewatch it, you can. But if any of this you want to revisit in the future and you're like, shoot, what did she say about this? Shoot us off an email. Honestly, you have our support email. It's support@RealEstateContent.ai. If you've ever spoken to Tiara or Nick, you know that they are just the most amazing. Shoot us an email. We're always happy to help. And I'm here every Friday. So bring your questions. I'm more than happy to help. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys. Thank you, Laddie. Thanks, Judy. Good to see your name too. And Olympia, thank you so much, Olympia. Really appreciate it. Jacqueline, really good to see your name too. Bye, Helen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.